Welcome everyone back to the Spearhead cast with me, Matt. We have another one here on the Western Front for you all. Let's go through the players. For the allies, we have Kiam as the United States. As Ranger, okay. We have Matthew as the Commonwealth. We're not a commander yet. We have Marcus Fenstra, also double Ranger. Ooh, that's interesting. And we have the Booty Short Bandit as Royal Tank Regiment. Looks like Matthew's not moving yet, probably lagging a little bit. Anyway, on the Axis side, we have Testy Alarm as Strafdivision for the Wehrmacht. We have Eric as the Waffen-SS. We have Noob Hero 21 as Infanterie Division for the Wehrmacht. And we have Mr. Whitey White as Panzer Tactics for the Waffen-SS. Well, this is Arnhem Crossing, I believe this map is called. Let's see how this one goes out, and I really hope Matthew starts moving shortly, because that would be really bad if they didn't. So we already have an engagement going on with Realism meeting with some pioneers here from the Straf division. We're seeing some Volksgrenadiers come out first, followed by some Straf troops. Now the Straf troops have somewhat been nerfed, as I understand, which was probably a good thing, is they don't get active veterancy upgrades from the Kampfkraft Center, which you can get. So they will always only arrive at veterancy 0, so you have to work up their veterancy essentially to make them, get their upgrades. Regardless though, let's see how this battle is gonna go. Still no movement from Matthew. That's a really bad sign. If so, we'll have to see how well the Americans can do in a 2v1, I guess.
Heavy truck waiting for deployment.
Oh, there we go. Matthew's moving. I saw it in the minimap. And they went for Royal Artillery and triple Canadians coming out immediately. Okay. But here's a lot of firepower in this rear echelon. They're not gonna get out of there. Well, they might actually. Americans, can they get that cover up in time? Nope. That's denied. That's a lot of American, Axis firepower coming in. Keep coming up though. And with a 30 cal. Oh, pineapple on them. Now back to engaging here at the center. Not much engagements going on the northern flank. The British could keep pushing, but they aren't at the moment. Now this is a 4v4, so I'm going to apologize if I cannot keep a track of all the action. There's going to be a lot here to look at. Canadians are pushing out onto the field now though. Cheaper infantry you get access to if you're playing as Royal Artillery. Not good quality troops though, they will get mowed down out in the open. As you can see. Grenadiers have actually been armed with Gewehr 43s, giving them increased firepower essentially, so that's nice. Not an upgrade we see very often being handed out to Grenadiers. But it's actually a pretty okay one as I understand. The battlefield is pretty evenly split up at the moment, except the center is in German hands obviously. I'm trying to hold that checkpoint. And I think Kiam does not understand the change that's happened to the Volksgrenadiers. It's a visual change. That they're armed with Sturmgewehrs now on burst fire mode. It's not a bug test here, but I get what you mean. It's because they're meant to seem like more assault-oriented infantry than Grenadiers are, which Volksgrenadiers technically were armed with more... they were not technically assault infantry, they're actually defensive infantry, but they were armed with a lot more automatic weaponry. But in the terms of the game, they're considered assault infantry, so that's the whole idea behind it. They're setting up here. Now the Allies could have pushed up here, but they didn't realize there was no defenses to stop them. We are seeing Hitler Youth coming up, being armed with Gewehr 43 to try and set up some kind of a defense, I assume. Oh, that's going to be a very dangerous 30 cal right there. I guess he's to start opening fire, but it isn't. Is it blocked or something? It's not. There we go, now it's opening fire. That took it long enough. And well, Straf troops are trying to push along here. Or they will get close enough to throw a grenade at that machine gun. They're throwing a satchel. Very cheeky. And well, not much going on in the northern front here. It's mostly happening in the south and in the center at the moment. Canadians have called the 6th Field Company Engineers, which is another unique unit available to the Royal Artillery that I think we barely see, actually. These guys can booby trap and be actually pretty good assault infantry, as I understand. And be armed with gammon bombs, too. Like, very impressive loadout, actually. I believe they arrived with... yeah, they arrived with M1 Garands, by the looks of it. So, pretty decent.
Set up a new forward base.
So the British are going for the center here. Germans did lose the central point for the moment. Smoke break dropped in.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Universal Carriers being armed with a Wasp. Pretty potent flamethrower on top of it. Canadians are being suppressed out in the open.
There's an officer awaiting orders.
Allies have secured the center here, giving them a slight bit of a resource edge. But most of the map is very static looking by who controls what at the moment. Backup Riflemen now being armed with the Springfield Sniper Rifle. Unique upgrade to the Riflemen if you're playing as a Ranger Company, allowing them to get a Marksman Rifle basically. Wasp went down to a Panzerfaust from the 17 SS Grenadiers. We actually have a commander choice then. Eric went for Panzerjäger. Generally a very popular choice. That's a lot of good utility.
An officer is taking the field for duty.
The Germans are taking in on the northern front, but I'm not sure that will help them if the Allies figured out that they could just push up there. I think the Allies are content to just try and fight for the center at the moment.
Supply half-track is in action. Standing by for setting of command post.
Germans are definitely setting up around here. That's for damn sure. More American troops are pushing upwards. And look at all these heavy fortifications that's been laid. The Germans are really intent on just calling off the north here, aren't they? Canadian assault engineers coming out of the 6th Field Company. Using their flamethrower. Actually doing a really good job there. Followed by an impact grenade. I might actually be a gammon bomb. Now will they get out of there is the question. And they will. Okay, that's good. That's actually really good. Good to see more units than just Canadians being used. I also believe, yeah, playing as Royal Artillery gives them access to Indian call-ins, which we rarely see. Indians are a unique little thing. I believe there's 6-man squads. Let's see. Artillery being called in on the British positions. Or should I say Canadian positions? Still no movement on the northern flank. The Brits have just set up machine guns everywhere up there. Looks like we have an airdrop in of equipment for the Canadians. Might be an 80 gun and a machine gun. Looks like, yeah, it's a Vickers machine gun and a 6-pounder. Pretty good. That's one thing the Canadians are good for. You can use them to arm equipment. Jeep went down on the American side.
We have a lieutenant reporting in for duty.
One just doing field presence to lead for the Germans. German HQ set up here. They could call it the Luftlande, which is, as I have been described actually, was essentially a division that was like float around between the front lines. So it was like meant to be very mobile, so that's a neat little thing. And infantry gets access to those as their call-in. So again, a very neat concept.
We have a mortar team available
Cool locking down. American lieutenant present.
You've got a captain hitting the field.
Looks like some kind of recon red flare's been called in. Lieutenant moving up here. Probably call down. Oh, he's doing an actual barrage. 75mm going in that pack.
Heavy truck ready.
It's gonna force that to move. Lieutenant still holding. The staff troops are not the most accurate ones in the world. Big American position up here with mortars and everything. Having a bit of a border engagement against this German one. So the German one is winning out so far with the counter barrage. Infantry mortars being set up too. Some kind of artillery call in here by the Canadian lieutenant. Looks like it's a firefly effect of some kind. Not sure what though. Artillery call in by the Germans there. So much going on. There's this 3-inch firefly effect. Definitely have quite a bit of a battle going on. Oh, whoa! Landed straight on those German troops, killing them. That was actually the Understurmführer, I think. Big escape position set up here by the British. Americans have pushed through on the southern flank here with the rear echelon. Staff troop now moving to try and stop it. Throwing a steel hand granate. Killing the rear echelon. And so much action is going on all across the front line. Canadians have dug a trench. Lots of BARs have been handed out for the American riflemen on the northern flank here. Double sandbag wall. That definitely stop any high explosive from getting through. 57mm did a very good job there. There it goes. Very nice job. Artillery call into the American position here. It looks like it was a firefly effect. Americans have dodged it though. Captain also arriving. Already getting one of the 6.7mm firefly effect, which is apparently a really powerful mortar. Artillery call into the American positions here. So much firepower going in on both sides. American keep providing some kind of support fire, but there is a baby tiger coming up. A Panzer II, and also we have Sicherungstruppen coming in. These are like realigned German infantry that was supposed to secure the back lines, but they have been rushed to the front line here. Very good defensive infantry actually. And also he lost all his stuff, so I guess this is a panic move. Well, not really a panic move, but replacements. The battle groups can be used as replacements to the front line quickly. But I suppose that's what this Sicherungstruppen with the baby tiger is for. But out in the open, they're not going to do well. You don't want to waste your Sicherungstruppen like that. Oh, baby tiger down! Looks like they're armed with a Czech machine gun. They're gonna have to get out of there though. Oh, and it went down! Oh, that's a loss. That's a big loss right there. Oh, good mortar shell there. Lots of mortars being prepared here. Americans probably gonna try and push up for the point now. Lieutenant has been armed with Thompsons. 30 round Thompsons by the looks of it, so that's a lot of magazines. Or a lot of rounds rather. And then the 20 round. Spinning grenade going out from the Sicherungstruppen. Very good throw! But the Jeep will support them.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
And the Thompsons are just moving through them. And both Sicherungstruppen are down.
Brave infantry is dying.
Ranger recon coming out for the Americans on the southern flank. No Ranger shit for the northern American. There's not much of an engagement happening up here at all. Both sides are just having some kind of a staring to contest. Most of the fighting has been in the center and the south by far. Artillery called in. Looks like it's another fire for effect. 5 for 8 centimeter. Pain's opening fire the best they can. That's what we're calling in return. Looks like it's going to be 7.5 centimeter rapid barrage. That's a major though, oh god. The Brits have teched up for a major quickly. Risky maneuver. But he called in a howitzer strike first. Still, I'm not really liking the whole officer sprint up and usability thing. That's why officers do need to be changed, I think. Which is planned, I believe. So that's good. So people don't just rush up with your officers like that. Because that's a little bit risky for these officers.
Cromwell gun tank, ready for action.
Storm Grenadiers pushing up with a splintering grenade. And that's the Canadians. Hit beyond the sandbag still. Hit pretty good though. But that's a dead Storm Grenadier. That's not worth it. Scott coming out for the Southern American flank. Scott is a really good mobile howitzer on the Stuart chassis.
Light gun carrier tank, ready.
I think the Allies might start to prod the northern flank here. He's getting a Recce team. Hitler Youth is trying to push out though, but they're gonna run into trouble. Yeah, too much fire coming on them. Nune, German military police called in. Meant to buff the Straftrupps. Oh, but that American rifleman squad with this is actually doing a really good job with that Springfield sniper rifle. Oh, yeah, that might be a dead Kettenhunde. That's expensive. Oh, and he's down. Oh, that's very, very expensive. You don't want to lose a Kettenhunde like that. Oh, good. American captain has been armed with a 30 cal, making him a really good support unit. F1 is trying to keep the Americans at bay though. The Germans are losing a lot on the southern flank. British are pushing through the northern flank here. They've noticed there's not a lot to stop them. Good job with that ambush with the Volksgrenadiers with the Panzerstück though. Stuck is being headed northwards though. Canadians are still opening fire on the German positions in the center. 17 SS have been armed with an LMG-42. Hauptsturmführer moving up as well. Canadians need to get back. Americans have secured the fuel down here, so the Germans are in big trouble. They lose their southern flank to this American. Status with his check machine guns might not last for too long. Hauptmann trying to move up here. British captain trying to hold the front line here. Well, actually, that's a Canadian captain to be specific. Transport J has arrived though for the Germans, and the Stuka is trying to push on the north here. With lots of support actually, so very smart. Oh yeah, then these guys just stand ready to like throw a Gebalterladung. Oh, he doesn't have the munitions. Because he's getting him a flamethrower instead. Now he's throwing a Gebalterladung. There we go, and that's a dead that AT gun. Yep, very nice. He actually cancelled the flamethrower to do it, very smart. Sexton on the field though. And Sherman 76 is coming out. Cromwell for the central front for the Canadians. This is a Cromwell Mark 5. Some more armor and everything. Not sure what the Scott has been doing. Ranger Recon pushing up, armed with Thompsons. Okay. Let's see what they do with that. Looks like they open fire on the pack that's turned the wrong way. And they are pretty accurate troops. Oh, good shot there from the 57. American cap moving up too. Staff troops have lost practically everything. They're calling it a Beuter Panzer T-44s for anti-infantry duty. F1 loading HE. Good shot, but didn't kill the captain. So they tried to fire a canister shot as well, did not do much. Americans have still decaptured the fuel though. But I do think that lieutenant has to pull back. Americans pushing through the northern flank now. That J is still holding them at bay somehow. But Norman German front is still somehow holding. Ranger Recon is opening fire against these smoke square here, so looks like they will win at long range here. Panzer's present. You need to be careful. The Scott is actually pretty good at anti-infantry duty. T-54 now. Used for anti-infantry purposes generally. It's a Boider Panzer from the eastern front. Guess the Americans are not prepared to see that. Oh, good shot there. But I think the Scott could actually kill this T-44. Nope. It's pulling back. American Sherman's being repaired behind lines. No, that's a land mattress. Bombing the central German fortifications. Not that there's too much here to stop them. Oh! There's actually not much German troops left at all at the front line here. Very cheeky. Repairs going in that Boider Panzer. Which the Panzer Grenadiers is going to be the ones who try to go for the recapture of the fuel. Oh, they're actually setting up behind the pack here to get an oversight position first. Smart at checking if there's any enemies first. More 17 vessels are holding the front line. Captain calling down artillery here. The Brits are very intense on using all their officer abilities. And Saxon's opening fire on the forward German positions. Yep. Lawrence has some fire for effect, but I'm not sure what kind. Might be heat because that lieutenant. That's most definitely heat. Oof, dangerous. Germans have resecured their fuel on the southern flank. Americans have pushed back a little bit at the moment. Jumbo coming out though. I don't think the Germans are prepared to face a Jumbo at the moment. And the northern German flank is about to lose its forward assembly. Its infantry hit half back here. German's going to reveal itself shortly. Boider Panzer still operational. We also have a Stu-42 coming out. Basically a Stuk, but with a howitzer mounted instead of a Stuk gun, as I believe it's called. Stuk-Kanone? Huh. And that serves as a mobile artillery piece for the Germans, so it could actually destroy the tracks on the American tanks. Well, now more artillery. And so many things are happening today. Looks like the Allies are building up for a push in the northern flank. Churchill has been prepared as well. Jumbo has been immobilized thanks to the Stu. Well, it might have been the pack, who the hell knows? Meanwhile, a firefight going in the center here. British officers might have to pull back.
attack.
Jumbo is still holding there. It's gonna be hard for him to deal with the Jumbo.
Ready, take ready.
Ooh, Pioneers got killed there. Well, that's some heavy howitzers called in. It seemed like it did much though. Well, the Allies are doing a push up the northern flank here. America's pushing up. Recce team is present, but that place is booby trapped. They don't know that. And here come the American tanks. Sherman 76 is pushing up aggressively alongside the Churchill. That's a lot of tanks. Jumbo being prepared behind this as well. Good smoke front, gonna buy them some time. Swoop down. Too many Shermans. You can take out that bunker. The Churchill reveals itself. The advantage of American tanks is they are much more stable and accurate on the move. So he can actually just keep moving and probably still would have good accuracy. Churchill's pushing forward. That's getting too close though. But it is drawing fire from the German tanks. It's actually working out pretty well for the Allies here. Looks like the British might stop that with a thermal grenade. Meanwhile, the Allies also pushing the southern flank here with the Jumbos. The F1 is not going to be able to do anything against the Jumbo. Actually, it did penetrate. Didn't do a lot of damage though. The German front line is in trouble. The Allies overrunning it. Probably what it feels like to have fought against the Allies on the Western Front in the late war. And the forces are moving up to do their best. The Church and the Shermans are just supporting each other a lot, although the Shermans are a little bit clumped up. There's now a Jumbo. And the Jumbo actually has higher frontal armor than the Churchill. Impressive. But I suppose the Churchill has higher health. But the Allies are just pushing up so aggressively here. The Germans are trying to do a counterattack with their vehicles, but that's just too many tanks. That's one. Oh, we got a good shot though. Very brave Panzer 4GA right there. But it's gone. Yeah, the Germans are just being overrun here. Also, the Allies pulling back for some repairs or another area to push through. Germans certainly are lacking in any good equipment at the moment, and indeed, looks like the Germans surrendered. No way they could fight that. Anyway, good match, and I hope you all enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next one, everyone. Bye bye!